Hello, my name's Nick Taylor and I work for the Penwith Landscape Partnership. In these strange circumstances that we find ourselves at the moment, we are being asked to stay at home and only go out for small amounts of exercise, just a walk near to home. And what we thought we would do at the Penwith Landscape Partnership was have a think about some of the fun and interesting things that you could do to get you outside, to get you out into the garden, get you looking at nature, and get you thinking about wildlife. So we've got a number of videos planned where we're going to show you some fun activities to do, so watch out for those. We're going to be uploading those over the coming days and weeks, and we'd love it if you joined in with us and had a go at some of the things we're going to do. So what I thought I would talk to you about today is one of the things that I love doing, and I would encourage everybody to have a go at doing, and that is keeping a nature diary. You can do this in all sorts of different ways. There's lots of different levels that you can do this at, so I'm going to give you a few ideas of some of the things that I've tried and some of the things that I know are quite good fun. So one thing that you can do is just have a look out and make a list. Writing lists is really good fun. One of the things that we're doing at work at the moment is going out into our gardens, having a walk around the gardens and seeing what's in flower and making a list of what's in flower. A little bit of competition going on actually, and I have to say, sadly, I think I'm in last place in my garden, so I'm going to have to work a little bit harder. I'm going to have to look a little bit harder today to see if I can catch up with my colleagues. So a simple thing that you can do is just go out for a walk, get a notebook and pen, and write down what's in flower. Flowers are nice and easy to identify. There's some other things which are nice and easy to identify. Birds are great. So one thing you can do, if you've got a bird guide and a pair of binoculars, or you can do this even without binoculars if the birds in the garden are coming close enough. I'll just wait for the tractor to go by. Is to make a list. That's the simple thing that you can do. If you do it every day, the nice thing then is you can start to see change over time. And if you do it over years, like I've been doing, you can compare one year to the previous years. So that's a lovely thing to do. So why not have a try at doing that? Every day, make a little list of the things that you can see in your garden, flowers that are in flower, the birds that you're seeing. Or another thing that's just occurred to me just then as I'm looking around the garden is when things are starting to happen. That's a really nice thing to make notes of. When things are coming into leaf. I've just noticed that the birch tree that I planted a couple of years ago, the leaves are starting to come out on that one. So other things I can suggest is maybe getting a little bit creative with your nature diary. Over the years I've had a few goes at this. These are I had a rummage around in the house to find some of my past diaries. Oh, the sun's come back out, that's nice. And some of my diaries are just lists, just like that. I'm quite into my moths, so what I tend to do is just write a list of the species I see. Something I recommend actually, if you are writing things down, it's always worth just making a note of what you've seen, but also the date you saw it and where you were, because quite often you forget. And so I've got a lot of these diaries with things written down with no dates on. Look at that, no date on that one at all. So put a date on it, what you've seen and where you are. Now, the other thing that you can do is, I've tried this sometimes and I'm not the best at it, but what you could do is get a bit creative. Illustrate your nature diary. I have done it a few times. This is one I found when I was looking through that I did a few years ago when I was on holiday, and I had a little go at doing some paintings in my diary. They're not the best, but actually it's a really nice way of kind of focusing on what you can see. If you have to draw or paint, it really makes you look closely at things. So maybe have a go at doing that. I've noticed that quite a few people I know on Facebook are setting up creative groups where they're sharing the things that they're recording, so, or the things that they're creating, which I think is a really lovely thing to do. So that's my top tip for today, is start a nature diary or a nature journal. Later on in some of the other videos that we're planning, we're going to be showing you how you can use the things that go in your diary to contribute to conservation. It's great fun in its own right, just maybe as a way of helping us get outside and get through this this strange period while we're in lockdown. But also the things that we're seeing in our garden can actually be a way of contributing to nature conservation, and I'm going to be telling you how we can do that in a little bit more detail in one of our later videos. Okay, I hope that's fun, gives you some ideas, and I'll speak to you again. Bye.